Okay, let's just do this thing. Let's do the thing, shall we? Hello and welcome to another episode of the Tori Craze podcast, episode 62. My name is Tori or Victoria, the mastermind behind the crazy, and thank you for joining me today. It is a semi-gloomy Saturday. It is the 21st of May. It's been at least a full month since my last episode, but it's been kind of a full month, so I'll kind of share what's been going on. I may not have a ton to show project-wise, because I've been doing a lot of other stuff, but also just I may have forgotten a few things. So hopefully this will be somewhat coherent, and I'll have some things to show for you today. So we will start, we're just going to dive right in. Actually, we're not going to dive right in because I haven't shared where you can find me on the interwebs yet. So let's do that before I forget. You can find me on Instagram as Tori Schaffner. You can find me on Ravelry as Lil Westy, L-A-L Westy. You can find show notes on the blog, which are still at woolymastodon.wordpress.com. I'm on Facebook. I'm just not as active there, although frankly I haven't really been posting at either place, Instagram or Facebook, so take that with a grain of salt. Hopefully I'll get back to that, but the way Instagram's been going, they're not really promoting photos anymore, so I don't know, maybe I'll still post photos just because I can, but we'll see. And you can find me on YouTube. So welcome. Now we can jump right into the episode. I have no finished objects. I have not finished anything that I can think of as I look around. Yeah, no, I haven't finished anything in the past month or so. I've been doing a lot of varied things, and not all of them crafting. So I haven't really finished anything. So there is that. I do have works in progress. We'll just skim over one of the works in progress. I'm still working on my socks for Dad. I have actually been knitting on them at work again. Well, that was a very aggressive bird. I have been knitting on them at work again, so hopefully I will get them done soon. I was on the leg of the second sock, and I'm actually almost to the ribbing on both now, so for the cuff. So hopefully I'll have finished objects out of those soon. The main knitting project I have been working on, we have this up here, is my Cable Crush hoodie. It's by Knititude. And this is a hooded sweatshirt with cables, or a hooded sweater. Would I call it slightly cropped? The pattern is to have it slightly cropped. I'm probably going to knit an extra repeat of cables so that it's not cropped at all, because I like things a little longer. They don't need to be super long, but just not cropped. But thus far, I've got... Technically, I'm done with the body repeats as of one more row, and then I would split for the front and back, but like I said, I want to add another repeat of cables, of a cable repeat to add a little length, and then I will move on to splitting for the front back sleeve section, because this is a bottom-up sweater. It's supposed to be quite oversized, so again, I would like a little more length on it. I am knitting this out of Lion Brand Pound of Love, so it is in 100% acrylic yarn, and just in an Oxford gray colorway. But I really like it. I've gotten a decent weight. I did set this down for a while because it got really hot. It was in the 90s for almost 2 weeks, I think, 80s and 90s. And even though we do have central AC and it works beautifully, mind you, it works beautifully, so that is glorious. I just wasn't in the mood to knit on it. I wanted to do other things, so it wasn't really that it was too hot to knit on it. I 100% could have knit on it in our house. It wasn't that hot inside. We have our AC on. Glorious. Thank you, Lord, for AC. But I just didn't want to knit on it. But I picked it up again last night, the day before, and I put at least one full cable repeat on it, if not a little bit more. So I'm chugging away on this. It knits up so fast because who'd have thunk it? It's worsted weight yarn instead of sock weight. So I am really enjoying it. I am looking forward to having the finished product because, again, we do have central AC and my work also has AC. Although it wasn't working at first properly, so we were all melting. But now that it's working, I'm slowly starting to get to that phase where I freeze at work, which means I need this. So yeah, this has been sitting in this basket in our living room, and I've just been picking this up in the evenings and working on it, or whenever I have time. So currently there's just like a bunch of tools and stuff underneath it. So I have that. Then I have, let's see, that's actually all the knitting. That's all the knitting content I have right now. I haven't picked up my granny stripe blanket. I literally brought the tote bag to work on it into our living room because it's cooled down this past week, and it's supposed to be cooler this week in the 60s. I never got to it. So I put it back up. It lives on top with the yarn, so it's on top of my shelf here. And so that didn't happen. A lot of other things did. However, let me see, what did I have next? Stitching. I kind of ditched knitting for a few days when it got really hot because I got back into embroidery. So last year I had traced a pattern that says "Be Thankful." I don't know how much of this you'll be able to see. I unfortunately I can't see the camera, so I don't know if this will focus properly. But it's traced out with pen that will disappear once I wash it. And it says "Be Thankful." And so I have started stitching on this. I stitched on this for a bit. I had to step back from stitching because I did something to my arm a while ago, and every time I do certain tasks I just aggravate it again, which is annoying, but it's starting to heal, and this was one of the things that was kind of annoying it. So I had to step back on the embroidery, but I've been really enjoying it. I brought it to work, worked on it there a little bit. Everybody was asking about it because I don't think I've worked on a stitching project on my lunch and breaks at work yet, so this was a new thing for them. They hadn't seen me work on something like this. I've got my cute little hedgehog needle minder. Not sure if it's focusing. But yeah, I did some embroidery. So that was kind of what I was working on for a while, because that is a slower project. It takes a little while to do. So it took a lot of time. But again, there were times when I didn't get to things in the evenings. So let me check my notes here, because I, got to remember what I even did. Let's just move on to upcoming cast-ons. I did want to go over, because my list has changed slightly. Last time I think I mentioned that I wanted to, I want to, and I need to knit a little bunny hat for my coworker's baby. She's still on maternity leave, but she didn't want the baby hat until the fall, for when the baby was a little older, and also when it got cold again, because the baby came in April, end of April. It was really nice. She sent me a photo of the baby wrapped up, her little baby wrapped up in the baby blanket I knit her, and it was so cute. She's like, she really likes it. It's so soft. And I was just like, oh. So I was very, very happy that the little baby enjoyed the blanket. But I did say I wanted to knit the hat for her since she asked if I could do it. I was like, oh yeah, I'll knit that for you. And originally she's like, okay. I'm like, I'm just going to knit this for you. Come on. So I've got to do that still. I found a pattern on Ravelry already, and so I just need to do it. But it's also the beginning of summer, so I've got some time to knit it. Let's see, what else did I want to work on? Let's see, I do want to knit the cable crush joggers that go with the hoodie, but obviously that won't get started until I'm done with the hoodie. I would like to knit a tank top of some kind. There are a lot of cool patterns out there right now for tank tops, and I knit one last year, which I do like, and I would kind of like to knit one that's maybe a little more practical for me. So I'm gonna hopefully knit one of those in the coming weeks. We'll see what pattern I look for. They're also a really quick project, and they don't take a lot of yarn. So it might be nice to do something like that with some stash that I've got chilling here. And then the other thing I wanted to make were some market bags, but specifically little bags for holding produce, reusable produce bags. That is what I would like to make. I understand that when you use reusable produce bags, they add a little more weight to the produce that you're buying, so you're going to have to end up paying a little bit more. But I'm sick of dealing with those nasty plastic bags, and then I can't get them open when you're at the store, and it's a whole thing. So it might be nice to just have some produce bags that I made. If I don't make them, then maybe I'll just get some of the mesh, really light mesh ones off Amazon. I don't know, but I was kind of leaning towards looking into that in the near future. Other than that, I'm still looking at my notes because I'm kind of lost, but now we move on to this basket. So we're going to move on to, we should move on to stash enhancements, because I technically have two, but I only have one of them to show. So we'll show this one first. I apologize for the crinkling. I got this as of yesterday. A couple weeks ago, my coworker, let's set this down. My coworker asked, there's a few of us that knit and crochet and do all of the things, so one of my coworkers asked, hey, do you like using thinner yarn? And I'm like, oh yeah, I love knitting with the thinner yarn. She didn't really know what weight it was. And she's just like, I'm not a fan of it. I'm not going to use it. I've got a whole bunch of this like lightweight, thin blue yarn. I said, sure, I'll take it. So when she came in yesterday, because they're upgrading our computers at work, she works from home. So she was getting her new computer. She dropped off the yarn. And this is some Red Heart Luster Sheen. It's a throwback. I think she got it from another coworker's family member, but she just wasn't going to use it. So she's like, I know they just wanted it to be used. And this is, it's 100% acrylic, but it's so soft. And it's a chain construction. So it's a chained ply fiber, and it's really soft. So it's very fine. It's for sure a sock weight, maybe even slightly less than a sock weight. Does it say how many yards are in here? It may not say how many yards are on this because it's old enough. Just says 2 ounces. But I have a bag of them, so I have quite a bit here. I mean, if I wanted to knit like a light sweater or something, I absolutely could. I even thought, well, maybe this would make sense for market bags, but I'm kind of leaning towards using crochet cotton for market bags, because then they'd be a natural fiber instead of acrylic. But this is so soft. So I'm leaning towards maybe even making like a tank top out of this. We'll see. But it's really nice yarn. Like I said, I've got quite a bit of it in the Woodman's bag. We're dating where we live here. And yeah. So I'm excited about this. I am excited about this yarn. I am looking forward to it. I didn't even realize there were this many skeins. So she was just like, yeah, I've got a bunch of skeins of this. Do you want it? I'm like, yeah, I'll take it. So that would be my stash enhancements. I hear Midnight. No, she's not walking down the hallway. All right. Let's move on to Knot Knit Loves. I've got a little basket here. We'll start with one. This, my friends, is a spool of macrame cord. I bought this off of Amazon. Had decent reviews, and it's just a ton of macrame cord. We own our own house now, so you best believe that I'm going to be putting all of the hooks in the ceiling for plants. And I figured, I know macrame. I'm going to have to brush up on skills because it's been forever since I've done any macrame, and I've never done a macrame plant hanger, but I am ready to learn. It's not very difficult. The macrame stitches are very simple. So I am looking forward to trying it. So I am going to make a macrame plant hanger or 2. I've got a ton of this. And then if I like this, the listing that I got this off of Amazon, I think, how many yards is this? This is 328 yards. I think it was like $15, so it wasn't very expensive for the quantity. I was just kind of pricing it out on Amazon. So it's quite a bit of macrame cord, because this isn't just like yarn. This is thick macrame cord or like rope. So I'm going to use this, and then if I like it, they do have other colors too. But I just wanted to get the natural to start because it'll go with everything. And I mean, the plants and the pot that you put in the holder can all give you color. There you are, sweetie. Hi, Midnight. Are you going to come join me? Okay. Midnight has come to join us. Oh, I think she realized I brought a new table in here. I got my desk that Dad was bringing her, my little end table that I'm putting my sewing machine on, and I just brought it up this morning, and she just realized it's there because it's in front of one of the windows. I probably should move my sewing machine because she's gonna try to jump on it. So actually, please hold. Sewing machine is moved. So, let's see. We were talking about macrame cord. In that same Amazon order, I don't know if you saw the tail going by, I ordered the Harry Potter Crochet Wizardry, the official Harry Potter crochet pattern book by Lee Satori. I've had this in my Amazon queue for a while, and I had a whole bunch of Amazon cashback cashback from Discover, which Amazon is really easy to use it on. So I tend to use that, like I use that on the macrame cord and this, and then a few other things for the house. But I got this book finally, and it's super cute. I mean, I especially bought this book. I'm not gonna lie. Hi. Don't get any ideas, ma'am. Oh, you're thinking about it. All right, we're gonna have to keep an eye on her because she's gonna try to burrow into the cubes and sleep. Hi. Hi. Come on. Come on. Come on. She's a loud purr, so if you hear her, she is purring. She like purrs instantly when she's around me or Justin. So, don't get in the plant, weirdo. Don't get in the plant. But yeah, so I purchased this crochet pattern, or a crochet book. I mean, there's even like Fox the Phoenix. She's got the sorting hat, which I do think is included maybe in one of the knitting books. But she's got like a mandrake, Dobby. Like, I need to make Dobby. I have to make Dobby. Like, that's an obvious solution. So I'm really excited. I've kind of paged through here. I haven't fully like really dug into it yet, but I have paged through it and I am excited about it. So I did get that. Midnight, what are you doing? She's trying to get on top of the new desk from underneath the desk. That's not how that works. Anyway, I have a very confused cat. Midnight, what are you doing? Oh, she's so weird. Anyway, I got this book. So then last but not least, I think, let me double check my notes. Oh, no, I got two things. So, in the past I've talked about how much I really enjoy my bullet journal. And I had gotten this on our honeymoon trip from, what's the bookstore? Is it Barnes & Noble? At the Easttown Mall in Madison. And I didn't use it for 2 years. And then in 2020, I believe the end of 2020, I started using it. Yeah. Because I was just like, I don't know if I'm going to get into it, but it's so flexible. I can do whatever I want with it. If I skip a week, it literally doesn't matter. No one's going to know. Well, I definitely skipped a lot of weeks because 2021 came and went. I've used this for all of 2021. And then I veered into 2022 with this, up until this is the last week for this one. So as of Monday, I need to start a new one. I've got my last page filled out. So I just wanted to do an update on this. I actually have stuck with this. I really enjoy it. I've learned to put everything in here. So yes, oh, she's eating. It's like, what is she doing? Midnight. I learned to put everything in here, from appointments, things with friends, even just things I need to remember for home or work. All of that's in here, plus other things, all kinds of other things that I want to remember. So this has been fantastic. So ages ago, I don't remember why I got this, but I had gotten another one from Walmart. And I've had this for a while, so I didn't need to buy another one. So I started setting this up. In the last one, I had just done an insert for my calendar because I knew I would have to use this one this year and I didn't want to redraw out the calendar. So I did that. This one comes with an index in the front already, so I wasn't even going to make an index, but I didn't realize it had one, so I'm just using it. So I set up my grid guides. That's going bye-bye. yard projects, knitting plans, knitting logs, and then I just need to set up my first page for next week, and I'm in a new one. So I just wanted to, check in on this one, give you guys an update that it is successful. I have officially stuck with this. I am nowhere near the level of organized that I once was in school, because that was like borderline militant organization. I was just very, very strict with my planners. And I wouldn't say that it was the best plan, because I just burnt out on it so hard my last year at college that I to the point that I just didn't go back. So I maybe should have eased up on that, and maybe then I would have just carried it through, because it really could have helped me in the years, how many year gap? 6 year gap that I didn't do it. It really would have helped me, but I'm back on this. I really enjoy it. I bring this to work with me every day, so if I think of something at work, it just goes in my backpack that I bring to work, and I've got it with me. I keep a little Hello Kitty pencil pouch. This is really tiny. It doesn't even fit long writing utensils in it, but I just use it for like a mechanical pencil and some Micron pens. But I really like this because I can just put this with it. It's tiny, it fits in my backpack, and I don't have to worry about it. I think I got this pencil case at like a dollar store years ago. But this has kind of been my setup. I do have more drawing utensils and everything, because I have all of the things when it comes to art supplies. But I keep more stuff that I can use to like dress this up in another case, but this is just what goes with me. So that has been fantastic. I love it. I don't think I could ever not use it, because I really like it. So then last thing, in my non-knit loves, before we move into life lately, this will kind of veer together. A couple weeks ago now, my dad came to visit for the first time, so he got to see our house, and it was my cousin's wedding as well, so it was a fun time. But I ended up taking a Friday and a Monday off, so I had a really long weekend. And my dad came and he brought us some like house stuff, like he brought us a mower and stuff, and so that was very, very helpful. But then we went to a lot of home improvement stores like Home Depot and Menards, and we also went to a greenhouse in Oregon. Cupkeys Greenhouse. I'm not sure how it's officially pronounced, but my coworker had given me a gift certificate to it. And it's a seasonal greenhouse, but I didn't realize it's huge. Huge. But anyway, I got some plants. I actually got 2 house plants from Home Depot and only 1 house plant from the greenhouse. But I got a ton of like outdoor plants that I still need to get in the ground. Excuse me, those I won't show, but I figured I'd show the plants I got. This one, I just threw in here because I've been keeping this on like my kitchen in front of the window, what is it? It's like a ledge on my sink because my window is right behind my kitchen, so it gets some light. But this is a red-veined prayer plant, and I do need to repot it because it's just in the nursery pot. But I got this at the nursery. I'm not doing the best job at caring for this because it's gotten a little bit of, I think I just didn't water enough at one point because it got a little bit of crusty on a few of the ends of the leaves. But I got a red-veined prayer plant. Wow, am I shaky. So I really like that guy. Then at Home Depot, they had a bunch of stuff in funky pots because it was before Mother's Day. So I'm guessing a lot of this stuff was just like Mother's Day gift-esque. But I got this is I believe another pothos. And it came in like a hanging pot, so I intend to hang this in a room somewhere in our house because it came as such, so why not? It's a funky vase. Right now I'm actually okay with the pink. Someday I might paint this for a different color. What are you doing? But yeah, this is a pothos. And then last but not least, my big baby. I got a Monstera. Rudely interrupted. My battery died. I was rambling too much. But last but not least, I got this beautiful Monstera. This was from Home Depot. It's actually got a whole bunch of new growth on it. It looks very nice. These big leaves that have started to come in have all got the, I don't know what the technical term is for the cuts in the leaves, but it's got a new leaf coming on top. I need to repot it because it's just in a nursery pot in this like tin or bucket. But I am really happy about this. I've wanted a Monstera for a while. They had big ones at Home Depot also. They were like $90 and I was not about that. So this one was either 25 or 30 and I decided I wanted one like nice plant for the house since we got the house. And these get really big. So I am going to repot this guy. I'm just going to keep repotting him into bigger and bigger pots and just let him grow. Hopefully I can take care of him well enough for that to happen. So that was my other plant stash enhancement, so to speak. So then we'll move into, let's see, life lately. I'm like super distracted because my battery died. So life lately, yeah, like I said, my dad came, he came to visit since it was my cousin's wedding, and then I took a 4-day weekend, so I got a decent amount of time off to just kind of get stuff done. He brought a bunch of stuff for our house. So I've got my little desk over there now, among other things, although that one I actually got in a separate trip that I took to his house. But anyway, we got a lot done. I've spent a lot of time at Menards and Home Depot. We are getting used to taking care of our yard because we've never, like Justin and I have never lived in a house together. We've only had apartments. So now it's nice to have our own space to just do with what we will. Thankfully with Dad, he was able to share a whole bunch of yard tools with us, so we haven't had to put out a ton of money for yard stuff, which has been so helpful and so great because we have a decent sized yard. I'm looking through the back of the window in my studio to the backyard, and there's a lot of space up there. So we've tomorrow I think will be a yard day. There's a raised bed next to our yard barn out back. And I'm gonna weed that and get that ready, and I'm gonna plant all our plants in there. I got tomatoes, I got some peppers, and then my dad dug up a few chive plants for me that he had at his house, and so I'm gonna get all of those planted. He also had some lily of the valley, which I'm gonna put up in the backyard, so that'll be really nice. What else? We've picked out even just a few plants. Is it annual or perennial? They only live 1 year. Either way, whatever. We got a few more plants. I also got bee balm for the front yard. Justin actually picked out lavender, which I thought was really cool because I wanted lavender anyway. It kind of reminds me of Mom. So he picked that out. He didn't even realize what it was at first. He's like, it just smells really good. And it was lavender, so I was super happy about that. So we got lavender. I got a cool type of mint that I'm going to get established, hopefully somewhere in the yard. Probably not in a main flower bed since it takes over, but maybe just in an area where there's not a whole lot growing, and we'll just put the mint there and just let her rip. But other than that, yeah, it's just been a lot of stuff that we've been doing with the house. We've still got stuff to unpack. We've still got things that we need to take care of. But I think right now, it's cooled down a bit. It's supposed to be in the 60s this next week, so hopefully we can just focus on kind of getting the yard to a point that we like it, so then it's just maintenance when it gets really hot. Obviously weeding beds, watering things, mowing the lawn, all that kind of stuff. But we do want to do a few chores and jobs around the yard. The previous owners did tell us we've got wild asparagus living in the backyard. I don't know if I've mentioned that before, but it is so cool. So I've had a few meals of home-picked asparagus, which is the best. I can just say it's delicious. So that was really exciting. We've got a couple fruit trees in our backyard that are really young. They had planted them the last couple years, so that's exciting. I think we've got a couple apple trees. There's definitely a rhubarb plant back there. I'm not as into rhubarb, but hey, I'll try it again. I don't care. And then, yeah, I think there's even strawberry plants out there. So there's a lot of stuff. Hi, you back? Nate's back. But But it's just been, we've been kind of away from like the usual routine because we've been doing all that. We set up the library in the room behind me here. I'm sorry if you moved. Midnight was rubbing up against the tripod. But we set up the library. That's painted. I need to touch up because when I painted, I bumped the ceiling in a few places. So I have white paint and I need to touch that up. But other than that, the shelves are up. Almost all of our books are out. We want to get a couple more bookshelves because it's going to be a library. I definitely thought that was something other than a bird. That was weird. But we want to get some bigger bookshelves because I have a lot of like half bookshelves that it's a library. Why are they half bookshelves? They could be full bookshelves. So we're going to do that. But it's really exciting to have all my books out and like they're not completely cramped because those bookshelves are just for books. So it's been really exciting to have that. Justin's been working on, his man cave downstairs. When Dad came, he brought all the furnishings for our spare bedroom because he had a bed he didn't need anymore and a little table and a lamp. So spare bedroom is set. He also brought my cedar chest, which was my mom's, which he wanted to give me, which I'm excited of because actually this morning I transferred all of my hand knits, wool hand knits, into the cedar chest, and that's super special. And also cedar chests, even if I put like some lavender sachets or even more cedar in there, it's a natural moth repellent. So I'm really excited to have that for my hand knits, and also it's good. They're gonna smell really good after they've been in there. So that was exciting. I'm really happy to have that. And yeah, we've just been settling in. I'm just looking around because I'm to the point where I'm rambling. I said this would be a short episode, and I feel like this is going to be way longer than planned with a lot of cuts because I had to stop multiple times. Sorry about that. But Midnight is just rolling around on the floor as happy as can be. So I think with that, I'm going to end it before she knocks the tripod over. Just a reminder, you can find me on Instagram as Tori Schaffner. You can find me on Ravelry as Lil Westy, Lil Westy. I'm on Facebook. I'm just not as active there. You can find show notes on the blog at woollymastodon.wordpress.com. I am, of course, here on YouTube. And if you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe, share it with your friends. We just love to grow this little community on the interwebs. Comment below. Let me know what you're thinking of doing, or if you have any tips for us being new homeowners. Anything. All of the thoughts are welcome. And now Midnight is turning into Jungle Cat. So with that, I hope you have a wonderful couple... Hey, no. Anyway, my phone went off. Apologies. But with that, Midnight is becoming a Jungle Cat. So, she's becoming a Jungle Cat. With that, I hope you have a wonderful couple of weeks ahead. I'm not sure when I'll podcast next. I'm hoping to be a little more regular. It might be more irregular as the summer progresses since we're new homeowners and we're just kind of getting everything settled. But as we get more into your routine, hopefully I'll have more of a routine with you guys. But with that, I hope you have a wonderful couple of weeks ahead, and I'll see you in my next episode. Bye. The myth, the legend, the troublemaker in all her glory. Meet Midnight Moon. What do you have to say for yourself? Huh? Nothing? You're just gonna purr at me? Okay. I love you anyway. Yeah, you can be a turd, but you're also a nice turd, so enjoy your